You know what nobody tells you once you hit your 50s? Looking polished actually gets easier. Not harder, really. Easier, because at this point you've figured out what works. The problem is that most of us are still doing things the complicated way when there is a much simpler path to the same result. Today I'm going to give you my lazy girl's guide to looking polished. 10 things I do or don't do that keep me looking and feeling put together without a lot of effort. And I'm saving the best one for the end because it's the one thing that ties everything together. And it really changed how I think about shopping and getting dressed. So let's dive in. You might be surprised, but I am really a wash and wear girl at heart. I always have been. I don't like fuss. I don't like spending an hour getting ready. And I've never been the kind of person that has a complicated 12-step or higher routine for anything. But I do like looking polished. And I like feeling that I walk out the door with intention, even if the whole thing took me 15 minutes or less. And over the years, I've found that looking polished has very little to do with how much time or money you spend. The key is knowing exactly which things to pay attention to and which you can skip entirely. So let me show you what actually works. The first one on my list is dry shampoo as a second day hair solution. Let's start at the top, literally. If you're not using a dry shampoo on second day hair, you are making mornings so much harder than they need to be. A good dry shampoo buys you an extra day in between washes. It adds volume at the roots, and it takes about 60 seconds or less to use. Spray it in, give it a minute, and just work it through with your fingers. And guess what? You're done. Your hair looks intentional instead of like you just rolled out of bed. Because honestly, you just kind of did, and that's the whole point. Now, your hair is only half the picture. Let's talk about the other thing that frames your entire look before your outfit even enters the conversation. Tip number 2 I have here for you is signature fragrance. It's the invisible accessory. This one might surprise you because we're not talking about clothes or makeup. We're talking about scent. And I believe that fragrance is one of the most underrated tools in a polished woman's arsenal. And here's what I've learned. A single spritz of perfume tends to fade. What does not fade is a layered scent system. And I have done this with quite a few fragrance lines, including Clarins, Philosophy, and right now, Salt Air. I start with the body wash in the shower. I use the body butter to moisturize, the deodorant, and then I finish off with the body spray. Each one of these builds on the last. So you know what? The scent stays with you all day. It's light, it's airy, and it's buildable. And what I like is you're not walking around in a cloud of fragrance. You're just leaving a trace of something lovely and something people notice. And what I love is I feel put together from the moment I leave the shower, and it sets the tone for everything that comes after. Step number 3, caring for your skin. And you know what? Getting dressed is only part of looking polished. Your skin is the very first thing people see before your outfit, before your shoes, before anything else. And that brings me to today's sponsor, Revive Skincare. I have to tell you, I was not prepared for how luxurious these products would feel. Revive was founded by a plastic surgeon, Dr. Gregory Brown. And the whole idea behind the brand is the same science that heals skin after surgery can be applied to your own skin every night at home. The core ingredient of all of these products is the Nobel Prize-winning component that has been upgraded with Nobel Prize-winning technology. No needles, no procedures, no downtime. Just beautiful results-driven skincare. They sent me 3 products, and I have been working them into my nightly routine. After I wash my face, I put a few dabs of the Renewal Moisturizing Night Cream in my palm, add a squirt of the Renewal Rescue Elixir Oil right on top, and mix them together. And when I press that into my skin, I can actually feel my skin drinking it in. That's the only way I can describe it. It just takes in all that moisture immediately. Hydration, radiance, and firmness supported by experimental report data. Right after that, I apply the Fermentive Neck Renewal Cream with upward strokes. And I will tell you that I have started wearing the neck cream during the day too, because it has SPF 15 built right in. And if you're anything like me, getting sunscreen into your daytime routine without another step is a big win. The packaging alone looks like something out of a lab. Very sleek, very clinical, very luxurious. And you know what? These are not drugstore products, and they don't feel like it for a second. Revive is recently having an anniversary sale with products discounted as low as 50% off. I'll have everything linked down below so you can take a look. Okay, now that we have taken care of the head to toe foundation, let me get into the tricks that I think are going to save you the most time every morning. Number 4, 1 week wardrobe reset. Here's something I do about 20 minutes every Sunday and pays me back every single morning that week. So on Sundays, I do a quick wardrobe reset. I look at what I have clean and ready to wear. I think about what I have going on that week. A lunch, a filming day, a casual day at home. And then I go and I pull the outfits together so that I have them lined up for the week and they're ready to go. Now, I don't plan the outfits down to the earring, although some of you have messaged me and said you do. But you're just removing the friction of Monday morning. So you're not standing in front of your closet, half asleep, trying to make decisions. 20 minutes on a Sunday means you're not doing that. In fact, I've done a whole video on it. I will link it here so you can go check it out. But I want to let you know, the Sunday reset only works if you have the right foundation in place. And that is where my next point comes in. Tip number 5, a uniform mentality. Now, before you tell me, Nancy, this is going to be boring, I want to fast forward, please don't, because this is going to really help you. I want you to think about 2 or 3 outfit formulas that you know work on you. And I don't mean a specific outfit, I mean a formula. For me, it's always some version of a button front shirt, great bottoms, and a third piece. That is my formula. And I have been doing formula dressing for years, and you know what? It never fails me. When you have a formula you trust, you stop standing in front of your closet feeling frozen. You just plug in the pieces. Different shirt, different bottoms, different third piece. It's the same formula. And you know what? When you do this, getting dressed becomes automatic instead of exhausting. And the key is knowing your formula, not someone else's. If you want even more info, I've done a whole video on this as well, and you can go check out all my best outfit formula ideas right here. Now, I mentioned third piece. Let me show you what I mean about a third piece, because this is the one that I think makes the biggest difference is in how polished you look with the least amount of effort. Tip number 6, your signature third piece. You can see right now what I'm wearing. I have a large shawl over my shoulders. I have it worn over just a simple button down, but that is my third piece. And that does more for my outfit than anything else I've put on today. So if you're wondering what is a third piece exactly, it's a layer or an accessory that takes an outfit from fine to finished. And it's the difference between looking like you just grabbed something out of the drawer to looking like you got dressed on purpose. Could be a scarf, a lightweight cardigan, a sweater over your shoulders, a statement necklace, a statement earring. Any one of these does the job. And you know what? You don't need all of them. You just need yours. 1 or 2 that you go to naturally and they just feel like you when you put them on. Once you find a few signature third pieces, you'll use them on everything. And it will become part of how people recognize your style. Now, we are about halfway through the video and we have not even gotten to the details yet. And I'm talking about small things that undermine an otherwise polished look. Stay with me because these are the things I see overlooked all the time. Tip number 7, keep your most worn pieces at eye level and within reach. This is a closet tip, but really, truly, it's a psychology tip. If you have to dig for something, you're not going to wear it. It's that simple. You know, the pieces you reach for most often need to be easy to access. So hang your go-to shirts at eye level. Keep your favorite jeans folded in front. Put your shoes that you wear 3 times a week right at the door. When your closet is organized around how you actually live instead of how it looks in a magazine, getting dressed is going to become automatic because you're not going to be hunting anymore. You're just going to be reaching. Now I want to talk about something small that I think gets overlooked more than anything else. Number 8. Nails, simple and maintained. Now, I'm not telling you to get a weekly manicure. I am telling you your hands are in every single photo. As you can see, mine are in every video I put out. Every gesture you make on camera, every time you hand someone something, your hands are seen. So keep them neat, pay attention to them, and neat, well-maintained nails, even if they're short and bare, they're going to read as polished. Chipped, polished, or ragged nails, even on an otherwise beautiful outfit, they're actually going to pull the whole look down. So keep a file and a top coat nearby. Tidy them up if you have 5 minutes. That is the whole tip. It's a really tiny move that we're talking about here, but you know what? The return is actually disproportionate to the effort. Okay, now I told you at the beginning that I had one thing that I was saving for the end. And we are getting there. But first, I want to reframe something that I think a lot of us have backwards. Number 9, polished is not the same as fussy. I think a lot of women think that looking polished requires a lot of effort. That means ironing everything, having the perfect outfit, and spending an hour in the mirror. And I really want to gently push back on that because I think it's keeping a lot of us from trying. Polished is not fussy. Polished is intentional. And you know what? There's a difference. Intentional means you thought about it, even briefly. It means your clothes are clean and cared for. It means you added one thing that shows you were paying attention. It doesn't mean perfect, and it certainly doesn't mean formal. It just means you showed up with a little bit of a purpose. And that is completely achievable, even on a Monday morning if you've overslept and you have 12 minutes to get ready. And that brings me to the one thing I promised you at the beginning. This is the one thing that underpins everything else on this list. Number 10, buy the best quality you can afford and care for those pieces. Everything on the list today, the dry shampoo, the fragrance layering trick, the third piece, the tidy nails, all work better when the foundation underneath it is solid. And the foundation is what you own and how you treat it. And I am certainly not telling you to spend a fortune. I'm telling you to be intentional about what you actually buy and to take care of those pieces once you actually have them. A well-made shirt that you steam and hang properly looks much better in year 5 than a cheap one looked on day 1. Quality pieces that are cared for have a presence, and you can feel it when you put them on. And that feeling is a huge part of looking polished, because when you feel good in what you're wearing, it shows. Buy fewer things, buy better things, and take care of them. They'll serve you for years, and they'll make every single thing that's on this list much more effective. What is your number 1 lazy girl trick for looking polished? Let me know in the comments. You know I love hearing from you. Stay gorgeous, and I'll see you in the next video.